Let me trip y'all up real quick. I just was online a few minutes ago. I was online a few minutes ago, and I was watching YouTube or whatever, and they had a thing on about Ancestry.com. Let me trip y'all up real quick. And it was like, it was a white woman, I guess you could say. Caucasian woman, white woman. And she was talking about ancestry. And I'm just thinking, okay, it is what it is. Yakety yak, this, that, and the third. But they showed her being, I guess Scottish, Dutch, Irish, all kinds of stuff. But then, like, there was like maybe a 10 or a 8% on there that had other. Now, they had all of her stuff on there, all her stuff. But my question is, what is the other? See, Ancestry and all those things where you take your DNA swab and do all the other stuff, they are running game on people. It's not that they're running game, but they'll put all the results in there, but they won't say what the other is. What's the other? Some people on there, because it's mostly, Caucasian people, white folks on there that saw them on the commercials. They had maybe a few black people. But the black people, of course, it was like, you're this, that, and the third, but you're mostly from Cameroon or wherever they're saying they're from or what have you. Which is crazy. Here's my kicker. Here's my thing. What's the other? Because, back in the day, I guess post-Civil War or what have you, if you had 1/8 blood of black blood in you, you were considered black. Is that what the other is? Is that the 11%? Or some of these people, or the Ancestry.com taking out the actual what the other is? Because if they can tell you like 12 ancestries you have, or this, that, and third, why can't they figure out that other? Yeah, we know what it is. The boy trying to run game. And people are falling for this crap. I'm just like, what are y'all doing? Y'all actually buying into the shit that somebody said, I heard a blurb that somebody said, because of the spit coming out your mouth, they swab it, they figure, somebody said I'm a Zulu. How the fuck you can figure out that you a damn Zulu or some kind of fucking thing? You might know which country you're from, but you can't say what tribe you're with, because that's just a country. Like, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. But that's a broad thing. I can just say South Carolina, but swapping my son or daughter, you just say, yeah, your father was in South Carolina, but they can't say where. Because you can't say, oh, he's from Columbia or Greenville based off the swab. You say, yeah, he's born, because of this, he's born in South Carolina. But another part of it is that there was a guy who did a rape back in 1992. And one of his cousins, the guy did a rape, never got caught, but he left DNA evidence, and this when DNA was in its, infancy back in '92 when it wasn't really popping as it is now. So he did a rape, and then maybe a few years ago, one of his cousins had the mouth swab with the ancestry services, right? So the FBI and police department agencies, I guess most likely the FBI and all these other guys, they're running cross checks from those people into the database. So they're actually telling you, yeah, go ahead and swab your mouth. We're collecting your DNA. That's why we never do that shit, because they're collecting your fucking DNA. And now the guy got locked up. Not saying he shouldn't have got locked up because he raped somebody. But the kicker is, it was because his cousin went. And they said, well, this is close enough of a match. The guy lived in the area, so they went and locked his ass up. And come to find out, they ran his DNA. And come to find out, he was the rapist or killer, whatever. I think he was the killer. And it's a weird story. But this shit is happening. That's why I'm like, yeah, Ancestry.com, and it sounds fun where you can find out your heritage. I am of Charleston descent. I am black. I don't know. Like, the African people, I can't say I'm African American because it's the Africans who come from Africa, African America. Yes, some of my ancestors may have, but I believe that I may be of the indigenous people because of my characteristics. Now, there's some people in Charleston, if you look at them, they're really really dark, jet black color. And they have no high cheekbones. And you can look at them and say, oh, they may be from, Africa, like for real Africa. There's a girl I grew up with. She went on a cruise one time, and when she was coming back, they detained her on the way back from at the port. They detained her because they didn't believe, because of her facial characteristics. Because she's real dark, she had the high cheekbones, and she looked like she could be from somewhere in Africa. And They detained her for like hours. She had a passport, birth certificate, she had everything, but they still thought it was a forgery because of her the way she looked. And then some people in Charleston, basically black people, they speak that Geechee, which is, I may sound like it now. I don't know. My accent is not there, but it sounds like an island dialect, and they talk it, real quick, real fast, and it's like a lot of fast talking. I may be talking fast now, but that's a lot what happens. So she got detained, which is crazy. And then if you look at the Africans on a different note, if you look at the Africans here in America, they don't like us black Americans. Africans hate us. I had one guy told me for real. He said, yo, Africans do not like black Americans. They do not like us. Now, the African men don't like bang the black women in this country. But them African girls, man, I never tried to holler at none or nothing like that. But shoot, man, they don't like us. No, my homeboy told me, he said, look, they do not like you guys. He said, most Africans, he was a cool guy. He said, I'm not like that. He said, but most Africans, they do not like black Americans because they think y'all are beneath them because, your heritage is slavery. And I'm like, everybody, every country, every community, every country back in the day, medieval days, biblical days, whatever, everybody had slaves. I mean, there was, Albanians, any kind of country got bum rush, they took the people in the hostage and made them slaves. So Africans were slaves. They may have been some warriors out there. Hell, I was a warrior. I fought in the military, so I consider myself a warrior. But yeah, so he said African people do not like black people. And I feel it because, you come, hey, say, what's up, I don't hang around. Many of them, I got one who, one buddy, the one I was telling you about, he lives up in D.C. That's about the only one. We kicked it, hung out, partied or whatever when he was here in the ATL. But, gosh. But back to the Ancestry.com thing. Don't do it, man. Don't get your mouth swallowed for nothing. I took one DNA test, and that was because of the paternity of my son. And, well, of course, he's mine. But I had to do it for, child support things. But that's long ago. My son's grown now. That was back in the day. We had to go to court behind that bullshit because that was his mom. But anyway, that's the only time. Other than that, I would say never get your mouth swabbed. Ever, ever, ever. Because that shit can backfire you. Especially, don't do it, especially if you're out there doing dirt and crimes. Don't be a dummy. Don't be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get my shit swabbed. And then, well, what would you arrest me for? Because your dumb ass got your mouth swabbed, you dumb fuck. But anyway, yeah, so I would look at any one of those services saying we can tell your DNA and yakety yak where you came from. Just leave those things alone. They're making their money off of it. I think, what, $20 to $100 something to get it done. I wouldn't do it. For the simple fact that shit, them boys trying to run game. Now they got you in their damn system, so whatever the fuck you do, they can say, let's go to Ancestry, let's double check the databases and stuff. Wake up, America. Don't do it. Be strong. Keeping it real, keeping it moving.